And welcome to Mr. Thompson's Math Tutorials. Today we're going to look at solving for x again. So I'm calling this solving for x number 2. Okay, so I've got this equation right here and I need to figure out what would make this true. What actually would make this particular equation true. So we're going to use just a tiny little trick here. First thing is we're going to make this so that it is equal to 0. Now equal to 0 means I've got to get this 4x out of that side of the equation. So to get that 4x out of that side of the equation, what I need to do is actually subtract 4x from both sides of this equation. When I do that, 4x minus 4x, well, this equals 0, right? So I end up with 3x squared minus 4x is equal to 0. Okay, now I need to figure out what this is equal to. So what I'm going to do is actually just another thing is I'm going to factor. I can factor out an x from both of these. So I can see that I can factor out this x from this, which is going to leave me with 3x minus 4. Okay, that's good because, well, one of the things that's going to make this equation 0 is actually 0, because if I say that x is equal to 0, well, I would replace this x with 0 and multiply it times what's inside. Well, 0 times anything is 0. So one of the things that will make this equation 0 is actually 0. Okay, so that's easy. I found one of the two coordinates that I need. Now, let's find the other coordinate that would make this 0, the other x value that would make this 0. Okay, well, it has to be something that I would, oops, this should not be 4x, it should just be 4. Okay, so minus 4. There we go. It should be something that I multiply times 3 and then subtract 4 from to equal 0. So I need to probably do something like this. I need to divide this by 3. Well, let's think about this carefully. If I replace x with something, so what I need to do is think about, oh, actually, easily, let's just take this out, because that has to equal 0. So I could say that 3x minus 4 is actually equal to 0. There we go. That's easier. So I can subtract 4 from both, or add 4 to both sides of this equation. Okay, so I'm adding 4 to both sides of this equation. That becomes 0, so it goes away. So this would be 3x is equal to 4. Then I can divide both sides of this equation by 3. My 3's cancel, and that tells me that x is equal to 4 over 3. All right, and that actually will give us 0, right? Okay, let's try this in another example. So on this particular example, I'm going to do basically the same thing. I start off by subtracting 9 from both sides, so that's going to give me 5x squared minus 9x is equal to 0. I'm going to factor out my x, which is going to leave me with 5x minus 9. Okay, that's equal to 0. Now I know that x can be 0 because x times, if this is 0, x times 5x and x times 9 is going to give me 0, so that'll work. But then also, I want 5x minus 9 to be equal to 0, so I'm going to add 9 to both sides of this equation, which will leave me 5x equals 9, and then I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by 5. So that cancels, which leaves me with x being equal to 9 over 5. So the other value of x that will give me 0 is that one. Let's try this one more time. Clear ink. So I'm going to do this on this one. So again, I'm going to take away the 3x from both sides of the equation. So that leaves me with 3x over here and 0 over here. I'm going to factor out my x, which is going to leave me with 4x minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, I know that x is going to be equal to 0. And then I want to make this also equal to 0. So I add 3 to both sides, so 4x is equal to 3, divide by 4, okay, and x is going to be equal to 3/4. Okay, so x will also be equal to 3/4. All right, thank you for watching.